Hello Internet, and welcome to another video. Today I will be talking about pre-evolved Pokemon that could or are actually better than their evolved forms. Most of the time we're talking about abilities in terms of why these Pokemon are better than their evolved forms, but also we have the item eviolite, which multiplies your defense and special defense by 1.5 times. So when you're pre-evolved Pokemon, so you can potentially have super bulky Pokemon and therefore be better than your evolved form. So let's just get started. Let's start with Sneasel. As we go down this list, as you can see, this is the full list. But as we go down this list, they get worse and worse, I guess. But I had a bigger list initially, but I decided to make it shorter because a lot of them could be used, but were not necessarily actually viable in VGC. So I shortened the list to what can actually be potentially used. Let's start with Sneasel, and Sneasel is better than Weavile, I'd say, better, because it gets the ability Inner Focus, and that means it's immune to Intimidate, which is nice, but it mainly means you cannot be flinched from Fake Out, mainly. A lot of the times you're using Sneasel as a support Pokemon because it's so frail. You're running a Focus Sash usually because it has horrible bulk. Even though on paper it's very good, it's 4 times weak to Fighting and Fire and a lot of other types, because Ice types are super frail in general, so there's that. But mainly you're going to be wanting to use Sneasel as a support Pokemon, and being immune to Fake Out is really, really nice, because if you want to use something like the Surf Colossal strategy, where you can surf turn 1 or even later on in the game, if you're really strategic, and you can get Colossal Speed to be +6 with its ability Steam Engine, and with the weakness policy you can give it +2 attack and special attack, so it becomes very powerful and very fast in one move. So basically, since you would use Sneasel or previously Dragapult because it was the fastest Pokemon in the format, but even though Sneasel has lower speed than Weavile, it's still worth it to use Sneasel because of Inner Focus, because Inner Focus is so good and you can't be faked out. You can also use Sneasel for beat-up strategies with the Swords of Justice, Cobalion, Virizion, and Terrakion. And also, in the beginning of VGC 2020, it was actually used with Lucario, and I even made a team with Arcanine, because they all 5 of those Pokemon get the Justified ability, which what it does is, when you get hit by a Dark-type move, your attack goes up by 1 stage. So beat up, actually, if you use it turn 1, you'll hit your partner Pokemon, one of those 5 Pokemon that I mentioned, 4 times, and therefore give it a +4 in attack, which is very, very powerful. The next Pokemon we got here is actually really interesting, but it's also one of those Pokemon that gets a different ability. Riolu gets the ability Prankster, which makes status moves have priority +type +1, except for on dark types, but mostly you're going to be using these 2 moves. And the reason why Riolu is so good is mainly because of Prankster coaching. Coaching is basically a bulk up for your partner. It raises their attack and defense by 1 stage, and it cannot be redirected, because basically what the move does is it's you, the trainer, coaching your fellow Pokemon with your partner Pokemon. You have 2 Pokemon on the field and Riolu is coaching the other one. So whatever, it can't be redirected, which is the main thing, and it's really, really good for physical attacking Pokemon. Another cool strategy with Riolu actually was with Prankster Copycat Trick Room. And how that actually works, it was usually with Dusknoir, and what you would do is turn 1, you would max Dusknoir, and you know how when you max a Pokemon, you all status moves and non-attacking moves turn into max guard. So basically you would click the max guard that Trick Room turns into, and then you would Copycat, and since max guard goes first, Copycat uses the last move used in battle. So Max Guard, which was Trick Room, goes first, and then Copycat goes, and therefore you get Trick Room turn 1, and it's very hard to stop. The only way you can stop it actually is with a Fake Out. So if you do it not turn 1, let's say you double protect turn 1, and then you do it turn 2, it's very hard to stop. The next Pokemon we got is Pikachu, and I simply put it on this list because of its Gmax form. It's very, very good. What it does is it's an electric type move, and it paralyzes both opponents, even if they're ground type. So I think the only way you can actually paralyze the ground type is with Stun Spore, or whatever it's called, the sleep powder for paralysis. Because I was playing singles the other day and Tangrowth used Stun Spore and on a ground type and it actually worked. So there's that. But usually you can't paralyze ground types or electric types. I think it also paralyzes electric types, which is really, really good. You can't paralyze electric types at all. And with the Light Ball that doubles Pikachu's attack and special attack, it's actually going to be doing a lot of damage if you use a physical attacking move like Volt Tackle, which makes it like a 150 base power max move or 140 base power. It's very, very powerful, and usually you'll be running Light Ball or maybe a Focus Sash, but getting the paralysis off is very nice because it halves your opponent's speed, and it gives a 33% chance that either one of their Pokemon are going to move separately, because it's a 33% chance because of the paralysis. So each Pokemon has its own 33% chance, not that they both together. Get that clear. Next Pokemon we got is Clefairy, and you'll be seeing a lot of Clefairy and a lot of Dusclops. But let's first talk about Clefairy. Clefairy is better than Clefable, mainly because of its ability Friend Guard, which basically what it does is your Clefairy's partner that's on the field will only be taking 75% damage. So a lot of times you'll run Protect on Clefairy, simply because you want to keep it around as long as possible because it can protect its fellow allies. You see a lot of Follow Me also. Well, you always see Follow Me on Clefairy, sorry. Redirection is always annoying. The only Pokemon that can ignore it are Duraludon and Barraskewda, and I have not seen Barraskewda once. So there's that. Obviously it runs Helping Hand sometimes. Sing, you have a lot of coverage moves because Clefairy used to be a normal type. You also have Aromatherapy. I don't know what else. You could give it Encore maybe. Heal Bell is the same thing. Healing Wish I've seen. Knockoff to get rid of their items, but usually you just run Moonblast or Dazzling Gleam on Clefairy. Usually Moonblast because you want to get that special attack drop, which is nice. And with the eviolite, it's actually pretty bulky, and it can soak up hits for your partner Pokemon to just sweep. Even though on paper it doesn't look so good, times these stats by 1.5 times, and with a 70 base HP stat, it's not actually that bad. Usually with Pokemon, you'll either have a higher HP stat, a really high HP stat and low defenses, or you'll have super high defenses and a low HP stat, or you'll be somewhere in the middle. So Clefairy is somewhere in the middle, and it balances out. Now, Dusclops, on the other hand, is one of those cases where you have super bad HP, but crazy defenses. So 130 defense and special defense times 1.5 times. Even though you have 40 HP, you're always running max HP, and then you spread out the EVs, something like this. The reason why Dusclops is so good, actually, is one, because of its ability Frisk. Frisk is really good in VGC because a lot of the times, the sets you run on Pokemon are determined by the item. So you can tell what kind of set Pokemon is using based on what item they have. So if they have an Assault Vest, you know that they can't protect. Or if they have a Choice Band or a Choice Scarf or a Choice Specs, you know that they're only using that same move every single time. So Frisk is very good for just knowledge of your opponents. And Dusclops is really used for Trick Room. And Trick Room obviously reverses the speed order for 5 turns. Meaning the slower Pokemon go first. The slower you are, the faster you are, actually. And usually you'll see Nightshade, Ally Switch. I haven't seen Seismic Toss, but it does the same thing as Nightshade in that it does the amount of damage equal to the user's level. And VGC, all Pokemon are level 50, so you're usually not using any attacking moves on Dusclops. So getting 50 damage up with Nightshade is really nice. Sometimes Dusclops also runs moves like Bulldoze, or I've even seen Brick Break for weakness policy stuff, like Bulldoze on any Pokemon that's weak to ground. Or I've seen Brick Break with Lapras, and also Brick Break is nice because it destroys screens, so there's that. But usually you'll just see Nightshade, Ally Switch. Dusclops also learns Will-O-Wisp, which is really, really nice. So you can get Trick Room off and then potentially get a Will-O-Wisp off on a physical attacker and make them not a threat for the rest of the game. Next Pokemon we got, I've seen a few of them running around. Since Togekiss got banned, Togetic has been flying around, and it's pretty good. It's got pretty good defenses, and with eviolite it becomes pretty bulky. You're probably going to see more Serene Grace than Super Luck, just because usually with the Super Luck, Togekiss was running the Scope Lens, which also boosts the critical hit ratio, therefore you had a 50% chance to crit, but really you're just going to be seeing eviolite on Togetic. Obviously it's good because Fairy Flying is a pretty good typing. Follow Me is obviously the main move that people want to use on it, but it also learns Helping Hand, Dazzling Gleam. Yawn is a nice move. The annoying thing is that Togekiss actually learns Air Slash while Togetic does not, as you can see here. So Air Cutter is your best move, but it's not really. It's not really a good move in general. Togetic also used to be a normal type, so it has the normal type syndrome in that it has a lot of coverage. So if you run a coverage move like Heat Wave or something for steel types, or even Psychic or whatever, I don't know why you do that. Mostly Togetic is here to just protect and follow me. So there's that. Next three Pokemon we got are just Pokemon I thought can be used and are kind of niche, but I actually saw a Charjabug team yesterday, and it was very interesting. They didn't bring it, but it was on the team with Charizard and Ninetales. It was a Sun team. But anyway, these defenses are not bad, and with the eviolite it actually becomes pretty bulky, even though it's weak to ground, unlike its evolved form Vikavolt, which has the ability Levitate, which makes it immune to ground types. Charjabug has the signature ability Battery, which basically gives your special attacking Pokemon a Life Orb boost, so boosting their special attacks by 1.3 times. It also gets some cool moves like Eerie Impulse and String Shot, but mostly you're just going to be using it to soak up hits. I don't know if it gets Ally Switch, no, but it gets some nice electric type moves, and gets Light Screen, that's nice. Thunder Wave is cool. Yeah, you're mostly just going to be using it to protect. Obviously it gets Rising Voltage, which is nice, so you could pair it with Concursion and then maybe get off some crazy Rising Voltages. So that could be a strategy. Maybe I'll look into that. That'd be cool. But yeah, so it is an option, obviously. But Vikavolt also has a crazy 145 special attack stat, while Charjabug is actually mainly a physical attacker, which I found weird when I was playing Sun and Moon. Charjabug was more of a physical attacker, and then it evolves into Vikavolt, and then Vikavolt's a crazy special attacker. So I had to switch all my moves. It was really crazy. I don't know why they did that, but whatever. Next Pokemon we got is Jigglypuff. Jigglypuff is basically a worse Clefairy. It also gets access to Friend Guard, and as you can see, it's one of those Pokemon that has a huge HP stat and horrible defenses. Obviously with the eviolite it makes it a little bit bulkier, and you can use Ally Switch, which is kind of a pseudo Follow Me. It doesn't work as well, obviously, because if they just attack either Pokemon, then obviously they're going to be hitting both your Pokemon. It gets Helping Hand, Heal Bell. Perish Song is also an option, and obviously it also suffers from normal type syndrome in that it gets crazy coverage moves. So if you want to run something, usually you'll just run Dazzling Gleam. Aaron Cybertron Zang showcased a team that he found. I don't know who made it, but I think it might have been Station Park. I don't know. I don't remember, but I watched the video and it had Jigglypuff on it, so it is possible to use it in a correct way. But you got, I don't know. Just use Clefairy if you want a Friend Guard user, honestly. Next, the last Pokemon we got is Magneton, and Magneton, I gotta say, is worse than Magnezone. But Magnezone is banned, and Magneton is not. The sad thing though is Magneton sadly does not get Body Press, and Magnezone did. And Magnezone destroyed with Body Press. It was so good. You would use Iron Defense and then Body Press, and it was crazy. Anyway, it's another analytic user, which if you go last, you get a Life Orb boost, basically. And you could use Iron Defense, Flash Cannon, and Thunderbolt. And with these kind of stats, it's actually really bulky, and it happens to have a very nice 120 base special attack stats. So you could run something like this, maybe, and then get like a minus nature on speed. Maybe do like this, and then pump the rest into special defense, I guess. Yeah, this could be a good Trick Room mon. Actually, no, not in Trick Room because you want to use Analytic, but you could also use Sturdy, which is basically a pseudo Focus Sash. So Magneton is 4 times weak to ground, so if you get hit by a ground type move, you could live and then counter it with some other move. Maybe you could even run Explosion, honestly, but I don't recommend it. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Just a little something I thought of talking about because with Series 6, a lot of people are just grasping at straws for ideas. So I decided to give you a little bit of ideas here and show you some Pokemon that you usually don't see. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!